There's a stench emanating from within the Victorian Government, and with it, a rotting carcass that gets worse each day. Something isn't quite right. And COVID, as it has done on many occasions, has inadvertently shone a light in the darkest places. The Victorian Government has a serious problem. And it appears several high-ranking officials have become persons of interest to the police. Victorians should be concerned about what it is these allegations are and the extent people have gone to do certain things. The Informer, unable to name individuals for legal reasons at this stage, can confirm if the allegations are true, then these people must face criminal charges. Part of the stench seems to stem from an April 15, 2019 board report for the Regional Kitchen and Community Chef Boards. The report carried with it details of a drawdown of $800,000 by Community Chef and a March 14, 2019 meeting between Community Chef and two DHHS executives. It was used to give DHHS an update of it and Regional Kitchen's performances for year to date. And then, during the meeting, Community Chef flagged a request to draw down $800,000 of its $1 million loan facility. For that to happen, Community Chef had to, in accordance with the Victorian Auditor General's Office, have $1 million in its account to remain solvent. So Community Chef explained to the two DHHS executives that their loan facility would need to be increased to $1.8 million, meaning it sought an additional $800,000 loan from DHHS. Interesting, the board papers that represent the $800,000 loan were never tabled. Why? Why did Community Chef need an additional $800,000? What was the money to be used for? And was it to be used as a slush fund to pay something or someone? Why is the money still unaccounted for, and does the Andrews government and the Premier know what the money was used for? Why would the Andrews government give $800,000 to a company? The ICook Foods saga, it seems, and the redacted April 15, 2019 board papers may potentially be linked. ICook Foods is an honest family-run business now bankrupt because of a scandal that raises more questions than it answers. Being an outstanding business hasn't served ICook Foods well. A catering company with a reputation for commitment and quality is fighting to restore its name. How a slug was supposedly found on ICook's food premises sees an elderly woman contract listeria and die from a sandwich she was said to have eaten and supplied by ICook Foods, but never was. A slug was blamed for passing on the listeria. But the slug was a plant, and the connection to ICook Foods and the woman's death never happened. Hours after closing ICook Foods, DHHS had irrefutable evidence the woman never ate any food manufactured by ICook. It was confirmed in writing by Knox Private Hospital. So, what was the motive behind destroying ICook Foods and criminally pursuing Ian Cook? ICook Foods and Community Chef were in direct competition. Who made money out of what happened? And who worked behind the scenes to make all of this happen? To get to the truth, follow the money. But there's two very critical points after extensive investigation. There was no evidence of a slug ever being present, and it is scientifically impossible for slugs to pass on listeria. Victorians should expect all high-ranking officials to be beyond reproach, but expecting in reality are vastly different, especially when certain individuals believe they are untouchable and above the law. Well, they aren't. During the past couple of years, there have been two cases of interest that should concern all Victorians. Victorians must ask questions of the Victorian Government and the criminality running rife throughout it. The Unified Security Hotel quarantine contract deaths and the ICook Foods saga are cases where the foul stench of decay is emanating from. Two entirely different cases that have many similarities, where parallels can be drawn and linkages to individuals disturbing. people known and have relationships extending beyond what is considered appropriate, and how these relationships have manifested outcomes that must be investigated and should continue to be investigated. The awarding of the Unified Security Hotel Quarantine Desk contract has many questions that need answering. Contracts worth $44 million aren't awarded without exhaustive parliamentary probity by Cabinet. The ICook Foods saga continues to unearth many fascinating events. As it continues to do so, the Informer is focusing on two very damning stories it believes will expose where the stench is coming from and how rotten the carcass is.